Church family, I want us to be clear this morning as we start Ephesians chapter 2 that Paul is making sure that we understand who we were before Jesus. Because here's the truth, and we cannot evade it, that there is a price for our sin. There is a cost for our choosing not to believe and follow God. There is a penalty for our pursuit of our own pleasure, and it is that we are doomed to face the very wrath of a holy and righteous God. Now look, if you're here or if this is your first time or if you're joining us online, you may say, Joe, that's terrible news. Like, that's not happy at all. That's not encouraging in any form or fashion. What are we supposed to do if this is our condition? What are we supposed to do if this is our state? How am I to break free of the hold that Paul says my sins and my desires have on me? How am I to turn away from the salacious and selfish spirit of this world that I'm following after? How am I to escape the inevitable expression of God's judgment? If this is true, then Joe, what am I supposed to do? Well, here's the good news. The good news is that there's hope. The good news is that Ephesians chapter 2 doesn't end with verse 3. The good news is that even though this is our condition, and Paul says there's nothing we can do about it, even though this is who we were before Christ, that what is impossible for us is possible for God. Paul draws our attention to the depth of our depravity. He shines a light on the hopelessness of our situation without Jesus in order that he might help us to understand the greatness of the mercy and the grace and the love and the kindness that has been given to us in Jesus. Paul says, look, to understand the gift that God's given you in grace, you have to understand why you needed it. And if you don't understand why you needed it, then you'll never understand how precious it truly is. Are we dead in our sins and transgressions? Yes. But the God of the Bible is a God of resurrections. And he reaches down to where ruined and doomed and selfish and lifeless sinners reside. And he pulls us up and he transforms us by his grace.